guys, welcome back to the NFL Pick 6 show. I'm your co-host, Nolan Basset.
And I'm Taylor Scott.
What a great start to the NFL season, going 4-1. Those Vikings sold us.
They did.
But it's okay. We started off strong, putting us in contention for the first quarter prize. Pretty happy about that.
I am as well.
Got anything to...
I would have loved 5-0, but I can't be mad about 4-1. As you know, this is going to be the Week 2 episode of our NFL Pick 6 broadcast, and we're going to give you our top 5 picks of the week for the Circa Millions Contest. Okay? And then wouldn't be Pick 6 without our parlay of the week.
Sounds good.
All right. So, do you want to dive right into picks?
Yeah, you can go first because I went first last week.
And because, I got to win Told You Tuesday.
Yeah, it's true.
I couldn't decide what to do, so I did pick 7, but I'm going to narrow it down to my 5. Okay. So in no particular order, I've got KC. I know it's against the rules for us. We're trying not to pick Kansas City that much, but they are right now sitting at 3. So I do like Kansas City at 3, maybe at 3.5. I haven't quite decided. I don't think they're going to go 0-2. And I do think Jacksonville overperformed other than Ridley.
I also have KC -3 against Jacksonville. I don't see Patrick Mahomes going 0-2. He seemed really upset when he lost. He said he was really embarrassed. And obviously their goal is to make the Super Bowl. That's what he said. And with Travis Kelce possibly being back and signing Chris Jones, thankfully, I see them blowing out Jacksonville. And Patrick Mahomes really showed his leadership by defending Kadarius Toney despite his bad performance and a bunch of drop passes. But that's why I really like the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, and I see them destroying this Jacksonville team.
Okay, wow, we're kind of on board on that. It scares me a little bit because we might have to pick them. But I think, Travis Kelce's going to get out there and, shake it off.
Yeah, I think he is too.
See what I did there?
I like him this game.
That was a Taylor Swift joke.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I got it.
No. I understand.
All right. What's your next pick? Or what's your pick? That was my pick.
I like Miami -2 against New England.
Okay. Night game.
Tua put on a great performance, almost throwing for 500 passing yards. That's unbelievable in one game. And Tyreek Hill, obviously, just going absolutely nuts. Best receiver in the NFL, in my opinion, and I know I'm probably going to receive a lot of hate for that because a lot of people like Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams, but I think Tyreek Hill is by far the best. And after the game, he posted on Instagram or Twitter, I forgot what one, saying he feels like no one can guard him in the league, and that he feels that this is the best that he's ever felt before, and he's really confident this season, especially in Tua, and I see Miami blowing out the Patriots also. Wow,
blowout.
Yeah.
Well, I love Miami. I don't know about the night game. It'll be their second road game in a row. It concerns me a little bit, but as you know, I'm all over Miami. I gave it out on week 1 as my dark horse 25-1 to win the Super Bowl. So I do like Miami. They are on my 7 picks I picked this week.
Gotcha.
So that's a good one.
Oh, yeah. I just think the Pats, they put on a really good performance against the Eagles, and I just don't think they're going to get as lucky against this team. And I don't know if Jalen Ramsey was playing or not. I think he was sidelined that game. I don't know why, if it was for injury. I'm probably going to look that up, and I'll tell you guys on Friday or whenever we post our thing. We can put it below just in case. But yeah, I really think this Dolphins team has something special going on, and Tua coming back. You got to be nervous with that injury, but I think he's a really good quarterback. So I think they're going to beat this Pats team.
So for me, my next pick is Buffalo -9.5 at home against Las Vegas. Now, I know I was all over the Raiders beating the Broncos last week because they have the offense, but they are still a bad team. And Buffalo does love to kick the crap out of bad teams. That's one of their things they do. They love to blow out bad teams. And I see this being one of those 44-10 kind of games. So normally I would hate to take such a big number in the contest, but I am kind of in love with Buffalo destroying Vegas.
Okay, Vegas, they don't have a really good defense. Their only thing they really got going for them is Max Crosby, who is phenomenal. But I don't think that's enough to stop this Bills offense. That's a big spread for me. I don't know if I like it that much. I looked it over and I was thinking about it, but I don't know. Vegas, they seem to do really good. Jacoby Myers was phenomenal that game, catching 2 touchdown passes he was unbelievable. But again, that's against a Denver team that's not that good. So I think they can totally just get destroyed by the Bills. But again, I don't know. That's a pretty big spread.
It is big.
But I actually have a big spread on my list. I have San Francisco -8.5 against the Rams. I'm a Chiefs fan, and I'm saying San Francisco is the best team in the NFL. Christian McCaffrey, he's the best offensive player in the NFL for sure. And, I mean, that's a lot coming from a Chiefs fan because everyone says it's Patrick Mahomes. But Christian McCaffrey's just utility. He can catch. I mean, he can run it. He can even throw the ball.
So now you're on the Niners all of a sudden this week.
Well, okay, I saw them against that Pittsburgh defense, which is a really good defense, and this Rams team is not that good. And I think the Niners are going to have another blowout victory. So, I don't know.
I like it. I mean, I did consider putting them on. It is a big number, but I didn't make my top 7. But I'm not going to root against the Niners.
Yeah.
I think the Rams overperformed a little bit.
I think they did too.
So it is possible, but it is a big.
I think people are riding just a little high on the Rams because of their performance against Seattle. But I mean, this Niners team is just too good, and I think this Rams team is really bad, and I think the Niners are just gonna destroy them. I feel like there's a lot of I think there's gonna be a lot of blowout victories this week. So yeah.
And Niners are at home?
No, they are away.
I know. That's a big number for away.
Well, again, it is SoFi Stadium, and they don't have any fans. So, I mean, just like last year in the Super Bowl, there was more Bengals fans than Rams fans. Or not last year; it was a couple years ago. More Bengals fans than Rams fans at SoFi Stadium, and that's in LA.
Yeah, and the Niners do travel well to LA.
Yeah. So I really like the Niners in that game. So.
Okay. Well, another one of my picks is New Orleans over Carolina. Now, I know it's a road game and it is a Monday night game, so those aren't two I really like, but New Orleans is sitting, I think, -3 right now. It's kind of been bouncing between 3 and 3.5. I think that New Orleans definitely underperformed last week. I think that Carolina, they looked so bad, you know. I think Young is going to get broken in half at some point. Maybe this week.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you because I actually have them on my board too. They were my 5th pick because I wasn't too sure. I was going to throw another team in there, but I think New Orleans is the better option. I do agree with you. I do think they underperformed a lot. And I think Carolina overperformed a little bit actually. And so I see this New Orleans team just coming out and just kind of like proving their dominance in their division. And I think the -3 is a really good spread.
Nice. Who you got next?
Actually, this is my last one because I agreed with you on the other two. I have the Chargers -3 at Tennessee. Tennessee, you know, they didn't look too good the last game, and Derrick Henry actually received 48% of the snaps. So he did as running back. Their rookie running back was 52%, and Derrick Henry didn't play too good, and I think that's the only thing they have going for them. DeAndre Hopkins, you know, no touchdowns. I think he only had like 60-something yards with like 7 receptions. So I'm not riding too high on this Tennessee team, and I think the Chargers are going to be out for a little bit of blood because they really wanted that game, and it was really close against the Dolphins. So I think they're going to go out and show this Tennessee team who's boss.
I am also on the Chargers. I hate to say it as a Chiefs fan, but I thought they were great against the Dolphins, as great as the Chargers can be. And I don't see any way that they don't handle Tennessee. So I do like, I hate to be picking a lot of threes, you know, for the contest. I mean, a tie is a half point. This could adjust, which we'll let you know in our Friday finals if we end up with a 3.5 hook. but I am also on the Chargers.
Yeah.
So my last pick. So I like Atlanta at home against Green Bay.
Okay.
Might seem like a crazy pick, but I think it's pretty sharp. So Green Bay, I think, overperformed against the Bears. I expected them to, because I told you the Bears were going to lose, right?
Yeah.
But I think they overperformed a little bit, and I actually think Atlanta overperformed a little bit as well. But I like that they're at home. I like that Atlanta's offense didn't quite seem like it's clicking yet. I think it seemed like it was about to click. So I really think things are going to come together a little bit more for Atlanta. Getting a 1.5 right now. I like that because I do see this coming down to a kind of a closer game.
Yeah, I actually was going to put that instead of New Orleans. I actually kind of like the Packers in that game just a bit more. Jordan Love looked really good. But that Atlanta offense, to me, I saw like a lot of potential. Bijan Robinson, if you guys didn't see their first touchdown, unbelievable. You might have seen it behind us over here, but it was phenomenal. Broke 2 tackles, broke some guy's ankles. It was great, and he scored the touchdown. And then their backup running back, Trey Alliger, had 2 touchdowns, and he was phenomenal. I see a lot of potential in that running back room, and Kyle Pitts, I think, showed a lot more upside this game, and he had a couple really clutch passes. Drake London, not so much, but I think Desmond Ridder, he looked pretty good out there.
Hey, well, I think he can look better.
Yeah, I think he can look a lot better.
But yes, I agree.
And I know like they were playing the Panthers, and it was a closer game, but I also saw a lot of potential in their defense. I saw them make a couple like really clutch stops when it was needed. There was that time where we were a little doubtful that we were going to lose that one, and then the Atlanta Falcons made a really important stop, and they proceeded to do it again throughout the game. So I see them stopping Green Bay just a little bit, especially with Aaron Jones being out.
Yep.
So, or not out, he's questionable.
We can hope.
Yeah. Well, no. I need Aaron Jones.
One crazy one I actually kind of do like that I didn't put on my board is Chicago plus 2.5 against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, Chicago.
So I know I was for Green Bay last week and against Chicago, and this week I'm against Green Bay and for Chicago. But that's how things work, right? It's and I don't think you got the whole Tampa Bay shouldn't be going 2-0, and Chicago shouldn't be going 0-2 factor playing into this. But also, I saw a lot of potential out of Fields. His passes were a little off, but they weren't that far off. I think he got a little bit better. He attempted way more passes than he normally does, or than he did last year. And the running capability, I think he's going to tear through Tampa Bay. I think getting points in a game that I don't think Tampa Bay, I think they're going to come in thinking there's something they're not. And I hate to take Chicago because I think I put them at like 4 wins this year, but I do think this is going to be one of them.
Yeah, I think Tampa's going to get humbled. I think they're riding a little too high on themselves. And Justin Fields' passing, in my opinion, I thought it was great. He started off really strong, going like 10 for 10, and I was like, wow, he's improved a lot. And I think he's the best running quarterback in the league for sure. I know a lot of people are going to be like, wow, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts. I definitely think it's Justin Fields. I think Jalen Hurts is a lot stronger, but I feel like Justin Fields has more ability to move around defenders, and he's strong. And then I think his passing really improved.
I don't expect Hurts to break an 80-yard touchdown, but I expect Fields to do it.
Exactly.
Whereas if I'm 4th and 1, I'm going to want Hurts.
No, that's exactly why I think that's a good factor in that Tampa Bay defense. I don't have a lot of faith in them, so I actually do like that pick. I was going to put that on there too.
Okay, well, I've been kind of harboring it, and it didn't move to my list, but the other one I was kind of kicking around was the Giants minus 4.5 in Arizona. So same kind of thing where Arizona shouldn't be in any games, and they really were. And I didn't get to really see the Giants. I feel like it was over before it started, and it just nothing happened. So I do like them. It is creeping up. It's gone up to 5.5 just today, I think.
Yeah, it is at 5.5
Yeah,
right
so
now.
who knows what it's going to be tomorrow. So I definitely don't love it at 6, but
yeah,
it's
I
one
don't
I
like
had
it
in there.
I don't like it at 6 either. 5.5 is still a bit high for me. Hopefully the Giants beat Arizona. I'd like to see them succeed just a little bit because I think Saquon, I think he's a great running back, and I'd like to see him succeed. And same with Daniel Jones. I think he's a great team leader, and it was a little strange that he stayed out there the whole game.
Yeah, it was weird.
But it showed a lot of leadership, and that he's not just gonna sit out and let like his team struggle, and that he's gonna struggle with his team and try and help those backups succeed and get playing time. I think that showed the Giants something, and he's gonna be more respected around his locker room, and they're just gonna want to like go play out there for him. So
a little behind the scenes, Nolan and I are watching the Sunday night game, and I'm screaming at the TV. Why is Daniel Jones still in the game? And for selfish reasons, I had the Cowboys on the under, and I had taken that and as an inline bet, and so I had it at 44. And I'm thinking, if they come in and backdoor this under, I'm going to lose it. So that's why I wanted him out of the game. But yeah, I thought it made no sense to have him in at that point. But I like your take on it for team morale, and for this week. That's something that could really play into their favor.
I actually do like the Giants, and they were actually, that was another one that I was going to put on my board. There was the 3, New Orleans, Green Bay, and then the Giants. I think I like New Orleans just a bit better, but I would totally be fine putting the Giants in there.
Okay, all right. So where does that leave us at? You said we agree on 2.
Yeah, we both agreed on the Chiefs.
We agree on the Chiefs at 3. I don't know. I think I'd still take it at 3.5 at this point. I don't see the Chiefs going 0-2.
I don't either.
I think Jacksonville overperformed, like you said, a little bit.
Yeah.
I think Ridley's still going to be great. I think he is going to run all over us to an extent. But I think Mahomes is going to come out with all his receivers lit on fire.
Yeah.
And they're going to be catching those passes.
Well, I hope they put in Justin Ross, because he went out there, played only 6 snaps, and he was targeted, I think, twice and caught both passes.
Yeah.
So I think if they put Justin Ross in, they're going to have more success, but I just really like Justin Ross. So.
All right, so we like the Chiefs against the Jags.
I like Miami minus 2.5. That's my number 1 pick.
Okay.
So I think that they should be put in there.
If it's your number 1, I'm going to put it in. Because
didn't you say you kind of liked it?
I do. I have it on my list.
Okay.
So.
And then, do you have anyone that you think just really needs to be put in there?
For me, Buffalo minus 9.5. Okay. I know you're not a big fan of those, but Buffalo at home, taking out their aggressions, losing to a backup quarterback. Las Vegas on the road, Jimmy Garoppolo. Prediction, injury in the first half.
Wow.
Don't like to predict injuries. I'm not wishing for it. Just saying, Buffalo's going to come out angry, and they're going to win that game 44-10.
Wow, 44-10.
44-10.
Yeah, I mean, I'll let it slide this time. Because I think you have a good point where Buffalo could destroy this Raiders team, but I do have a little faith in this Raiders offense. But yeah, I'll let that one slide in there. 9.5, right?
It is 9.5 currently. It was 9 earlier.
Okay.
It goes up to 10, 10.5. Obviously, we're going to be changing that.
Yeah, that's really high, especially for the Circa Millions.
I think a lot of people are going to have seen Vegas overperform and Buffalo underperform, and the betting public usually doesn't read that correctly. So I think people will be more on the Raiders than they are on Buffalo, and it'll either stay the same or slightly move down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Chiefs fan. I don't like Josh Allen or the Bills, like, whatsoever. They're my least favorite team. But Josh Allen, he looked horrible out there.
He
Three
did.
interceptions.
He's an interception.
Yeah, I mean, he made a lot of stupid mistakes. 3 interceptions, and all 3 of those, he could have ran for the first down so easily. I was watching the replays.
But these are things he's going to address in film and correct against a lousy team, in my opinion.
Okay, I mean, yeah.
He played probably the best defense behind the Niners in the NFL.
Yeah, I love that take. I think the Jets have a phenomenal defense.
So I think he's going to watch film. It's like throwing a softball all day before you pitch, and then you throw a baseball, and you're like, wow, look how small this is, right? Yeah. So he went and played the one or two best defenses in the NFL. Then he's going to go play probably the worst defense in the NFL, right up there.
Vegas is pretty bad.
So it's gonna just be a different thing. I think I don't even think the 9.5's enough.
Okay, well then let's put that in there.
All right.
I do think we both agreed on the Chargers -3, if I wasn't mistaken.
I do like that bet.
I think Justin Herbert, even though I don't really like the Chargers, I think he's a good quarterback. And they have Austin Eckler, who's a great running back in my opinion, top 3 for sure. And their receiving core is really good, and I see them going far in this game against Tennessee.
Okay. Do you like them more than you like the Giants or Atlanta? You don't like Atlanta because you're leaning Green Bay?
I'm definitely leaning Green Bay if Christian Watson is back, but then you have to put in the factor of Aaron Jones, who was their offense last game. He carried their whole offense. I think he had 2 touchdowns, and one was like a 50-yard touchdown. I see if Aaron Jones isn't in, I don't know, they can struggle. So it really just depends. I think you guys are going to definitely have to check out our Friday finals, because if Aaron Jones isn't in, I think we might have to put in Atlanta. But I think right now I actually do like the Giants just a bit more than that pick. So
okay. So we're thinking Chargers.
Chargers -3.
And the Giants -4.5 for those last 2.
Giants -5.
Oh, sorry, they have gone up to 5.5. That's right. Okay. I'm happy with that.
So we have Miami -2.5, Chargers -3, Buffalo -9.5. We have the Giants -5.5, and Kansas City -3. I know it's against the rules, but I really like that game.
That's okay, and it's more of a guideline.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so let's talk Thursday night for a second. We don't typically do the Thursday night game for the Circa Contest. We've already kind of got our picks figured out, but we should touch on some games a little bit. So Minnesota was +7 at Philly on Thursday night. They've moved down to 6.5. I would lean Minnesota in this game. I think Minnesota way underperformed with all the turnovers. And I think that Philly, I wouldn't say they overperformed. I think they showed some of their true colors with the coordinator change. I don't know if they're having a little trouble, but they shouldn't have had quite as hard a time with New England, in my opinion. So if you're looking for a Thursday night pick, I'd lean towards Minnesota, but I liked it a lot better at +7. So hopefully the Philadelphia faithful get in there and get that back up to 7 for you guys.
For sure. Okay, so I'm going to touch up on some other games that we didn't go over in our picks. There's Detroit -5.5 against Seattle. It's in Detroit. I think Detroit's going to win that game. I think Seattle also showed their true colors. Everyone's riding really high on them, saying they're going to win the division, and I think that's a horrible take. I see San Francisco winning that division for sure. And they didn't play too well against the Rams, and that Detroit team looked really good, and their secondary against the Chiefs looked great. So I think I would lean towards Detroit -5.5. Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I obviously watched the Detroit game because it was the Chiefs. I didn't watch the Seattle game much.
Yeah, I didn't either.
So I wouldn't have a big enough take on it, but with everything I've heard and looked at box score-wise, I'd take the Lions.
Yeah.
For me, Washington and +3 at Denver. That game for me it's just a no bet. I guess I'd say take the 3.5 with Washington, but they say don't bet Denver at home in September. Don't bet against Denver at home in September, just from everybody hasn't gotten all their endurance in, and it's harder to breathe up there. There's that, but taking Denver -3 and a hook, I wouldn't touch the game at all.
Yeah, I don't like that game at all. But one game I actually do like, which I almost put on my board, was Indianapolis -1.5 at the Texans. Anthony Richardson looked phenomenal.
He did.
I think he was the best rookie quarterback that played this week. He was great. His running, but the thing is, you have to be aware of the injury. He's going to be very injury prone, and I'm not going to lie. That's what saved our Jacksonville bet, was him getting injured at the last minute, because we would have lost for sure. He could have walked that thing in.
Yes.
So you have to be aware that he did get injured, so there could be that. That's why it was at -1.5. Actually, it was the other way earlier this week. I think on Monday or Tuesday it was. So you have to put in that factor, but I do like Indianapolis -1.5. I think that's better than going the other way around.
Okay. And last game, I think, is Cleveland -2.5 at Pitt.
Yeah.
So again, into my weird way of thinking, I was against Pitt last week. I actually like this game. If you're dying to bet a Monday night game, I like Pitt straight up in this game against Cleveland at home. I think they're going to bounce back this week.
Yeah.
I think Cleveland definitely overperformed. So I would see that to balance out.
Well, I don't think it's more Cleveland overperformed, and I actually think the Bengals underperformed.
Definitely. Burrow was horrible.
I think Deshaun Watson actually might be getting back into his groove.
Really? I didn't see a lot of that.
Yeah, he did good. He had 2 touchdowns. He didn't have any interceptions that I'm aware of. But I actually think he's going to get back into this kind of like groove, and Nick Chubb, he's a great running back. He's probably the second best in the league, in my opinion. And but I do like Pittsburgh with that defense, and I think their offense underperformed. Yeah. So, but
divisional games are tough.
You did forget about a game.
Oh.
You forgot Baltimore.
Oh.
+3.5 against Cincinnati. I don't really like this game at all. I wouldn't touch it if I were any of you guys. It's not my favorite game. It is a divisional game. They're rivals.
You've got the injury on Baltimore, the running back.
Oh yeah, out for the season.
Yeah.
So.
And Burrow's playing maybe with an injury. We can't tell. He's that bad. What's going on?
I mean, I don't know. They didn't do too good. I do want to put that out there that Baltimore's backup running back was phenomenal last game. 2 touchdowns. The reason why they beat the Texans. I'd probably take Cincinnati -3.5. I'm a little iffy about it. I'm not gonna lie, but I think I don't like the game. I think it's a bad pick for anyone really. I mean, honestly, the best choice is Cincinnati straight up. But yeah.
Okay.
That's the best option.
Great. Mm-hmm. So parlay of the week.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna give him my number one. How about you give him your number one, and we'll give him a 2-teamer this week.
Okay.
Since we hit 2 out of 3 last week on the parlay, Minnesota just dive bombed for us.
Yeah, that was tough.
That was a tough one. I thought that was coming in for sure. But we'll do a 2-teamer this week for you.
Okay.
What do you got?
I like Miami -2.5 against New England. That's my favorite game of the week. This Miami offense.
Sunday night game.
This Miami offense is just way too good. I think it's a cheat code, and I don't see this Pats defense, which is really good, being able to keep up with this Miami team.
Okay, and for me, it's Nolan's least favorite pick of ours, but that's Buffalo -9.5 at home against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Okay.
Cool.
Yep.
So that's parlay of the week. You got Buffalo -9.5 against Las Vegas Raiders.
Yep.
And we've got
Miami -2.5 at New England.
All right. Well, thanks for watching the NFL Pick 6 Show, Week 2 edition. Good luck in the Circa Millions Contest out there. I know we're going to go 5-0 and definitely hit our parlay.
I hope so. Make sure to like and subscribe and turn on that post notification bell so you know when our show comes out. Usually every Thursday around noonish or 1, something like that. And make sure to follow us on Instagram so you can see our Friday finals, Told You So Tuesdays, and just other fun little posts like we had the other day behind the TV. And until next time.
All right. Good luck out there.